Welcome, everybody, to Ava's Casual Chat. Hello, hello, hello. I am your host, Ava Holly, and we are right here on HamiltonRadio.net. I'm here with my co-host, Marco Panting, Mr. Panting Productions, and our guest, Chef David L. Silverman, right? We want to give a shout out to our sponsor, International Hall of Fame radio show host, Jerry Petito. Woohoo! We love you, Jerry. I know she's over at the Robbinsville Friendlies today with Zach, who is a young child who is on a mission to donate, what is it, 25,000? Something like that, 25,000 pairs of shoes to people who can't afford them. And he's almost at his goal. But they're over there today, Souls for Souls. And if you're in the area and you want to stop by, I believe they are starting at, I don't remember when they're starting, but they will be there this afternoon, and we will be there after our shows. So come out and see us at the Friendlies in Robbinsville. So what's going on, Mr. Panting? All ready for a new year? New you, new us, new everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. And David, I know you have fairly recently moved your operations into the Toms River Brick area, right? So
Yes.
we're going to be talking a lot about that. Today, I am dedicating our show to the wonderful, now late, Marilyn Kleinberg. And those of you that knew her knew what a great lady she was. Many of our connections came from Marilyn that started the ball rolling for a lot of things. So I want to make sure that we touch base on collaborations and connections, because nobody does it alone. You have to be able to work with people, to collaborate, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You have to be able to make great connections, and Marilyn did that so well. Unfortunately, we lost her Friday morning to a rare blood disorder, and that's all I want to say on the negative side of that. I want to keep the mood positive, and Marilyn would have wanted that, and talk about some of the people that connected us all. So, David, let me start with you. Tell everybody, who you are, what you do. How'd you become a chef?
How did I become a chef? That's a good question.
Just got a fork and a knife and stuff.
Yeah, I just started experimenting, right?
Yeah, I just started cooking for myself, actually, when I was younger, making my own lunches and going to school and stuff like that. And then it progressed into cooking for my siblings and some of their friends, and then, started working as a cook at a few places, and then went to school, and that was pretty much how I got started.
Yeah, it sounds like something you love. I've tasted your stuff. And he brought us some fabulous chicken. Tell us what you brought today.
I just brought some chicken marsala and some pasta with the marsala sauce.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to go in between shows so we can eat some of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you love food and you want to try David's food, he's got a murder mystery show coming up this Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday coming.
Saturday the 7th.
March 7th. And the Hitman Murder Mysteries, Love You to Death, right? Mm-hmm. That's what it's called?
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. Hello. Hi, Ruben. And it's going to be at your place, correct?
Yes.
Do you want to give out the address? I have it here, but maybe coming from you.
Sure. It's 2520 Hooper Avenue in Brick, New Jersey.
And the cost is $50, right?
It's $50 per person.
Dinner,
right.
And it's BYOB.
Correct.
And that sounds really, really exciting. So
yes, it is very fun.
Are you doing these as it says is a series?
Well, we are doing it regularly.
Okay.
So it's not really like a series, but we are going to be doing one maybe once a month now. We were doing them every couple months, and they just keep getting sold out.
Nice.
So we decided, well, if they're selling out, maybe there's a more of a demand for it. So we're going with once a month now.
I would like to maybe get to attend one of them. This one's not going to be possible, but I'd like to come to one of them soon. So, and then you also have something coming up later in the month, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's something that I like to do is I like to cook with alcohol, and so what I've come up with is a menu to where I'm infusing bourbon into each meal, each part of the meal. So the appetizer has bourbon in it. The salad dressing is going to have bourbon in it.
Oh, nice.
Everything has a little bit of bourbon in it somewhere. The dessert has bourbon. Of coffee's going to have bourbon. So I call it a bourbon dinner.
I like that. I think, though, in the cooking process, the alcohol burns off, right?
Yes, it does.
Like maybe in the coffee would be a nice little effect, or nice little,
right.
Dessert,
I don't think that will work.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my God.
maybe not for you. No.
You'll be hyper afterwards.
But that sounds great.
You'll
Looking
be
at this
hyper
menu.
/ drunk.
Look at this menu. Crab bisque with bourbon cream, spinach salad, brown sugar bourbon, bacon, and warm bourbon dressing. Yum. The entree is steak au poivre.
Au
right?
poivre, yes.
Green peppercorn bourbon sauce, carrots
Just
and
give me
green
all.
beans, orange bourbon glaze. Oh my God, making me hungry just
Give me
reading
all
it.
of it.
Right? Double stuffed potato with white cheddar cheese, scallions, sour cream, and bourbon. And for dessert, banana bourbon layer cake. Ooh. March 20th, $85 per person, and tax and gratuity, BYOB. Right?
Correct.
All right, so that's March 20th.
Yes.
And the Love You to Death murder mystery is Saturday, March 7th. So maybe we'll repeat those later so people can find it. If you want to call in and say hi, give us a call at 609-807-2492. Mr. Panting, what's coming up with you? What's going on?
Hi.
Hi. Tell me what you're doing in 2020. We talked about you wanted to concentrate more on doing films, and you're going to attend a film festival and all that good stuff. So
I don't forget they what they're gonna do they're gonna have a film festival in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I don't really know yet. They told me I was gonna be like the official the red carpet to record the interviews and stuff. So it's gonna be pretty cool. But I'm just trying to get more into my filming and trying to grow my business.
yeah, that's cool. I like that. And that's DiBernardo Productions, right? So shout out to Michelle, right? And Tiana. So that should be a fun time. I think it's coming up in September, so we're just trying to see how we can swing all
11th
that.
and September 12th.
11th and 12th, and
weekend.
that's in Springfield, Mass. So, again, this is Ava Holly. So if you don't know where to reach us or find information, right now you can find me at 4astar.biz. That's the number 4astar.biz. We are revamping. So my 3 R's for the new year are revise, rejuvenate, and repair. So we are revising a lot of things. We're going to be putting all of our different projects under one webpage, which will be avaholly.com. And that will be the home of 4A Star, Ava's Eye Bags, Ava's Allocations, which is my blog, which has close to 70,000 viewers on it. So that'll be kind of fun. And also the home of Mr. Panting Productions. So you'll be able to go to one place and one click away from amazing. So we'll have everything there, and we will keep you posted on when that will be ready for viewing. So anyway, so let's get into some of the connection powers. So you and I met at South Jersey Network, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And who brought you to that group? Do you remember?
Well, actually, I kind of
Found it online?
found it on my own.
Okay. And you made some great connections there, though,
I
right?
did. I did.
Yeah,
Very good.
and we were one of them. So I
Yes.
was very excited that you could come on the show today. Honored to have you here. I know you're a
Thank you
wonderful,
very much. I
wonderful
appreciate it.
chef. What are some of the other people that you connected with? Did you make a real good connection with anybody from South Jersey Network?
No, I did. I connected with Tom. We do some business together.
Tom Giacinto?
Giacinto, yes.
All right, the title guy, Tommy.
Yeah. And Ken Discount.
Ken Discount,
Right.
great guy.
Yeah, we're friends now. So
Nice. Nice.
And those are the two main people that.
Two main ones.
Oh, and of course you.
Oh, okay. And we'll give out a shout out to South Jersey Network. Find information about a great networking group in the Southern Jersey area at southjerseynetwork.com. So, Marco, tell me about some of your connections. You connected with somebody today who's going to be on your show, right? Just by finding them online, right?
On a filmmakers page.
That's that on a filmmaker's page. That's cool. And you never know what friendships are going to
she was,
form.
the lady, she owns the page. She's the owner of the page, and she's a teacher or something, professor at a college. So it's one of her students.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm excited to meet your guest later today. So if you're around and you want to tune in to Teens with Dreams, that'll be coming on right after Ava's Casual Chat. So I want to talk about a little bit about Marilyn and how when I first met Marilyn, she was still doing cruises. And then she passed her cruise business along to a lady named Carolyn Nemia, who I also met through eWomen Network, another great networking site, internationalewomennetwork.com. And then she took over as a managing director. So there are different managing directors that run all the different chapters of eWomen Network all over the world. So Marilyn had the Southern Jersey chapter, and for various reasons, after so many years, she stepped away from that. And so now we go to the Central Jersey chapter. That's where I go with Ro Couture DeSaro, who runs a beautiful chapter in Edison, and we meet at the Vibe Tap and Grill once a month. But some of the people that I met through Marilyn and eWomen, I became lifelong friends with both Sylvia Henderson, who lives out in the DC area, and she has a company called Mind Team Solutions. And it was Sylvia that I met that showed me her shared office space. And that's when Marco and I were starting to talk before that about finding a space where we could, bring our businesses to one space and have like a one-stop shopping and office area we could rent out. And that was idea came through Sylvia, but Sylvia and I became wonderful lifelong friends over it. So she is Mind Team Solutions. You can find her also on Facebook. Another very good friend is Gemma Fassett. And you know Gemma, right? Gemma,
real cool.
Yeah, she's a cool vibe, I'll tell you. She's all about the higher frequency of our lives. So, yeah. Well, peace, but there's not always peace, but we all shoot for world peace. She's very cool. She's a commissioned artist. She's also a wonderful Airbnb host. And she hosts Airbnb not only in her home in North Jersey, but also at Smith Island. And
She owns that?
yeah, she rents out Airbnb there. It's wonderful. She has a wonderful following.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find her at Gemma Fassett, Gemma, F like Frank, Fassett, GemmaFassett.com, and you can see all the different things that she does. I actually got to spend some time with her about a week and a half ago, and we went and taught an art class for Valentine's Day at the Montessori school. And so she brought all these wooden planks, and she painted them at home. And then what we did with the kids was we traced their hands and feet on the plaques, and they were going to make them for their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kids like real young kids. She teaches an art class at the Montessori school. She teaches classes at her house too. But she's great. I love her website. So if you get a chance to look at that, it's really cool because I'm going to try to set up the Ava Holly website kind of like that, where it's just one click, where you have the radio show, you have the Ava's Eye Bags, the blog, Marco's, company and all that. So it would be like one click away from whatever you wanted to get to. And I think that's kind of better in today's world than making everything wordy or busy or, I know video content very important and pictures very important and things like that. So I'm excited about that. Aren't you? Cool. And I also would like to talk about Diane Mativier. Now, Diane's been on the show before. Diane's Inspired Things. You can find that on Facebook. I love her mission. She is teaching her son to give back. So she's a financial planner, yet she also is an author and a poet. And she created like bookmarks, and she's an author and she has books, and she has forgot what the other thing is. I know there's book, but just the poems themselves. And she sells them, and that goes to her son's foundation, Matt's Heart Quest. And she wants to see him raise $1 million over his lifetime to give back to other charities. He's worked with the Girl Scouts, and he's worked with military and all kinds of stuff. So Diane's been on the show I think just once. You've been on the show before. You were on Jerry's show, right?
I was on Jerry's show. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That was
You
fun.
guys had a blast, right?
Yeah.
Were you on twice or just once?
It's just once.
Because I thought I was here with you one time, but I don't think I was here for the show. I don't think I was able to make it that time. But my mind is so bad I can't even remember. So, but I know you were on the show.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
New batteries.
New batteries. I like that. Anyway, so Diane Mativier, Sylvia Henderson, Gemma Fassett. I would never know them if it wasn't for Marilyn Kleinberg. So it's just, and that's just scratching the surface. There could go on, on and on and on of the people that not only became business associates, friends.
Diane knows better too?
Oh yeah, Diane knows her really well, and just friend Marilyn and her husband Milton and we became really good friends, not just business acquaintances that we see from time to time. I mean, we became friends, and it's those kinds of connections that Marilyn was able to read in people, like what you needed and who you would connect with, not just for your business but for your life.
Right.
And so we always have the saying, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Right.
And Marilyn was very good at getting those people together that needed each other for whatever reason it was. So she is going to be really missed, yet we are going to have a great celebration of life for her sometime in the near future. And again, you can always reach out to me for astar.biz to find out any information about David or Marco or our guests or anything that's going on in the world of Marilyn Kleinberg right now. I also have another guy that I met that I want to talk about, and he's a really cool guy. I actually met him on Periscope. You guys do Periscope?
I do not.
I don't. It's kind of like not like Instagram. It's kind of compared, like you compare Twitter and YouTube and that. It's kind of one of those sites, and it's cool. I haven't been on there in a while, and I'm not sure what's going on with Periscope. I think our age group is more Facebook, and I think Marco's age group is more Instagram.
Yes.
Yet I know people need to reach both age groups in business, so a lot of people are on both.
Like Facebook better.
You like I like Facebook better because I don't know if it's a generational thing. I just think it's easier to navigate. It's hard to navigate.
Like
you can't.
picture.
I mean, to me, you can't put a link on there unless you really know what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
Facebook, you can do a lot more. So anyway, I found Michael Ian Cedar on Periscope, and he has what's known as the Gratitude Slam, and he was running it at various locations.
Sounds like a hamburger or a cheeseburger.
Yeah, right? It sounds like something good, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, some people won't think that's so good, but you could get the Beyond Burger if you don't think the hamburger or cheeseburger is that good.
Right.
Anyway, he has this group called the Gratitude Slam, and you can find it on Facebook. And it's kind of like just a welcoming place if you want to go find somebody else in business, find a like-minded person, find, what your intentions are for the week, the month, the year. I don't participate in the one-word intention that he does. I don't know why. I'm not good with that. I have to just feel it, like inspired action for me. So anyway, I love going on there. I love meeting the new people. And he's involved in a company called The Legacy of You, which I think is like a dance kind of cheerleading kind of troupe that he's been working with for a long time. Yet I met him through the Gratitude Slam, and he was actually kind enough to let me come up to New York and come to his office and meet him.
Oh,
and
nice.
that's where, I met him, and I got to chat with him for a little bit and find out about the Legacy of You, about Gratitude Slam. So now he does the Gratitude Slam live on Facebook. I think it's 7:30 in the morning. Michael, I'm sorry if I don't remember the time correctly. Again, Marco says I need new batteries, so we'll see about that. But
AAA battery.
But you could find, thanks. You could find, those are little ones. You could find the Gratitude Slam on Facebook, after, just like you can find Ava's Casual Chat, Teens with Dreams on Facebook after the fact. So that was a great connection. And I'm still friendly with Michael, and we talk, and, he comments on everybody's posts. And I think it's really, really important to have those connections.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit, David, about some of the connections you have that you're in a space now, and how did you have to collaborate with somebody to make all this happen that's happening now for you?
Well, Well, I belong to the Brick Chamber of Commerce, so they've helped out a bit. Actually, we're doing an event in conjunction with them coming up this month. I think it's the 18th. It's a Wednesday.
With the chamber?
With the Brick Chamber of Commerce.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Marilyn was part of the chamber too for a while, and then she worked in various other things, but she was always connecting people. She worked in the entertainment industry too as a promoter, just like me, and all that stuff. So we really hit it off right away. But that's great. And how long do you have your place now where you are?
Well, actually, it's coming up on 1 year. 1 year I've been open
already. Wow.
Yeah.
Are you doing a special celebration for that year or what?
Well, not exactly. Like I said, I'm doing
the
thing with the chamber. We're doing these dinners and stuff. So
it's hard, working in events. It's hard because you have to plan so far in advance.
Yes.
I mean, you don't need a year. Sometimes you do, depending on the size of the event. Yet the time span of life seems to go so much quicker because you're planning an event. Like now for April, May, June,
Right.
And then we're still just ended February, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely have to be thinking ahead and plan ahead on a lot of different things. So.
And we're excited about your place, so I'm hoping to get up there real soon and see you. I know everybody's schedules are just crazy,
There you go.
So you were talking about red carpet interviews and stuff like we did at New York Fashion Week. That was great. But we're going to be having that coming up for the ballet event.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
March 28th, Papa and Sinatra. So someone who works with the Sinatra family is going to be there doing music and all kinds of stuff going on at Caesars on March 28th. So again, you can actually find that at acballet.org. Or again, you could reach out to me, fourastart.biz, and find out about the Papa and Sinatra event on March 28th. Marco and I will be doing red carpet interviews with all the VIPs, at the event at Caesars. Yeah, it's the end of the month. Today's the 1st. So it's the end of the month, the 28th. So a lot of events going on in March, right? Right? So are you excited about all the things you got going on, Marco? Tell me about some of the things you got going on. Film festival, right?
Just hustling.
Hustling.
Just really trying to grow my business and,
Yeah. Cool. And so I want to talk a little bit about our mentor, so to say, Jerry Petito. Such a great woman, International Hall of Fame radio show host now, and that kind of elevates her into another sphere of radio. And I think these podcast radio shows, live stream on Facebook, they're so important today because that's where we're getting our information from, right?
Yeah.
Right? So do
Absolutely.
you have like a podcast that you watch on a regular basis or anything?
I do not.
No. There's one out there called Podbean, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, I just liked the sound of it. So I kind of follow some of the stories on there. But I saw a radio TV ad about a couple that started doing a podcast out of their mobile home, and they travel all over the country and do this podcast right out of their trailer.
Oh, wow.
So I thought that
That's
was
cool.
really cool.
Yes.
So there's so many things out there you can find. I know Gemma has a podcast that she does every week, and you can find it on her website, gemmafacette.com. And it's really interesting. And she usually does an inspirational solo kind of event live. And no, it's not live. She tapes it, and then it's played on there for a certain amount of time until the next one comes up. And every once in a while, she has a guest. So when I got to visit with her, I got to be a guest on her podcast. So that was a lot of fun. And we talked about Avas eye bags and the movement to give back to different charities across the country. So I'm really, really excited about that. David, how did you get these murder mysteries started? I mean, you said this is the second one that you're going to be doing coming up?
Well, no, that's the second one of this particular murder.
Oh, so you've done them before?
This is going to be like our fourth one, I think. I started off doing them in people's homes, being a personal chef, going to people's homes.
I knew he was a bad guy. He's a hitman.
Yeah, right.
He's a foodie hitman.
Right. So I've done a few at people's homes privately.
That's kind of interesting.
And that was fun.
Uh-huh.
You know, so when I opened up my my storefront, then I decided, well, you know, it was great then that I felt that I needed to do it more often, and you know, now that I have a location to do it, that you know, I wanted to do it. So I hooked up with Jade Green of the Grange. Was it the Grange workshop or something?
Yeah,
I think
that sounds familiar. That sounds really familiar.
And she's in Howell, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, that's I used to work in Howell, so I sounds
there you
familiar.
go. Yeah. So you know, she actually writes these, and she comes with some other actors, and she does the acting.
So she brings all the casts and stuff. You don't cast for that. She casts.
I do not. She does. Right, but it is interactive.
Mm.
So some of the guests get roles in the play in itself. So they get casted as characters as well. So it's really a lot of fun.
That's kind of cool. I was going to ask you how you got your talent for your shows. So that'd be nice to maybe hook up with her and, you know, talk about some of that process.
Right. Now we'll talk about connections. So I met her through somebody that I met at a Chamber of Commerce, the Jersey Shore Chamber of Commerce that I belong to.
Uh-huh.
And she does comedy, and she does a lot of events for charity events. So I asked her if she knew anybody, actors that did it. So she hooked me up with Jade. So that's all about connections as well.
Yeah, the collaboration and connection is unbelievable. Getting back to Jerry, I mean, it was so strange how we met. We were all, Marco and I and Jerry, we were all going to the Strand Theater to see an Elvis tribute artist. And we all kind of descended, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think I have a vision in my head. I told Jerry this before in one of my other shows, that I saw the spotlight in the middle and then the light on all of us walking down. And it was just so strange because Marco hadn't noticed Jerry, you know, walking around afterwards, doing interviews and things like that. And then the Elvis artist had her on a show, and then I called in, and then she invited me on her show, which was this show, and then we went to meet at a diner, and then she met Marco, and then Marco got his show through Jerry, and it's just amazing, the power of connections.
Yes.
And you can't, like, I like the power and the magic of threes, that everything happens in threes, and that you do things, you know, in threes to make things happen. But I also love the power of connections, and they can be many. Like this, Jerry and I call it the little spider web of connections. John Monforto. Let me give a shout out to Debbie and John Monforto. And I kept telling Jerry, you got to meet these people. I mean, John's fantastic. And I met John on Facebook. And then we met for the first time in Florida, even though he lives in this area, but he also has a mom in Florida, so he's out there a lot. And he's like a one-man show. He does Elvis. He does all kinds of things. Amazing voice. Probably he's best known for his Rocky because, you know, hey, John, you kind of look like him, right? Yo, Adrian. But the connection there, and I believe that they and Jerry became lifelong friends, you know, and we became friends through that connection too. And it just got, you know, bigger and better. And all the ETAs that we've met, the connections there are crazy. So on my blog, which is avasallocations.com, I do a once a week blog, but once a month I do a blog on an Elvis tribute artist, and I'm trying to get Elvis artists from all over the country. And if you remember, Ruben Castillo was here a couple of times also, once on Jerry's show, on my show, on Marco's show, who is a kind of an Eric Estrada type guy, but also looks like Elvis and sings Elvis and does all kinds of great stuff. And he hosts events over at Boogie Nights in Atlantic City. And he also does like these educational events in libraries about the different years of Elvis and the history that went around that time. And anyway, so the connections and the collaborations are just unbelievable.
Yes.
So Marco had to sneak out to get his guest ready for his show. So we got a little bit more time. So David, so we're talking about these collaborations. So now you met Tell me the names of the ladies again that are in your dinner theater. You met the one lady that introduced you to...
Right, Molly Spaduto from Ninja... Oh, I forget the name of her business. But Ninja something Productions.
Okay.
And she does comedy and a lot of fundraising for charities. Okay, she introduced me to Jade Green. Okay. Who I work with the murder mysteries.
Now that name sounds so familiar, Jade Green. I'm going to have to check that out because if you're out there, look me up, girl. We'll talk.
Sure.
Yeah, she sounds very familiar. So that's kind of cool. What else? Tell me about your storefront and how you how'd you pick the location? How did you come to find that would be the thing for you? Because I know are you still working in people's homes doing private chef events?
I still do private personal chef work, going to people's houses and cooking for them there, having parties, dinner for two, whatever they want, dinner parties or outside barbecues, whatever. And I was looking for a place for a while, and so one day I was coming back from Tom's River, to get into brick. So I decided to go.
Nope.
I decided to go a different way, like the back way. So I went behind the road, the main road, and then I saw this little shopping center that just happened to have a for rent sign in it. So I went to check it out. It was an old sub shop, and I called them up and I looked. And I went in and looked at it and had a few things that I was looking for in a space that I was looking for. So, we looked at it, we talked about it, we signed a lease, and a year later, I'm still there, and
that's amazing.
Still plugging away and doing things.
That's awesome.
Hosting parties.
And the more people know that you're there, it's that that repetition and power of getting it out there.
Right.
So hopefully you'll get a little exposure from here, and then we'll share it around. So share our show out to your friends, and come out and see David's place. And even if you just go in, tell them you saw him here on Hamilton Radio.
Absolutely.
And
just stop by
and stop by and say hello.
Yes.
So that's awesome. I know you're a chef, but I always like to bring a little something for my guests.
Okay.
And normally it's more like a tangible thing, but this is more like an edible thing.
I usually just bring food.
Yeah, but I'm falling in love with these little Giardelli squares.
Oh yeah.
And now Marco likes the dark chocolate.
Well,
this one is dark chocolate and strawberry.
Yeah.
But I've just fallen in love with them because they're really tiny, so I don't feel so bad when I'm eating one. And
as long as you don't eat 20 of them.
20 of them at one time, exactly. Everything in moderation.
Right.
So that's kind of fun. For those of you that heard us laughing before, we and can't see us on Facebook, if you're just listening on the radio, David's microphone did like a 360. So Ruben came in and took care of that. So that was cool, and we were just laughing as it just kind of started turning around while he was talking. So do you have like a staff that works with you at your shop, or is it just you?
Well, no, I have staff that works part-time. I have part-time waitresses, part-time dishwasher, prep people, so when I do have a party or events like this, then, I schedule them to come in and work.
I was going to say, so the space is not open like all the time. It's open just for events?
Correct. It's just banquets and
right,
catering.
That's what we're trying to do with our event space as well. So somebody doesn't have to be there all the time. So you hire the employees as you need, like per project.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. I like that because it's like a win-win for everybody.
Right.
So, and you can go to various pools of people to find, what you need for your event, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite dish that you like to make?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I really don't have a favorite. I like to
What ones do you like?
Like me personally, to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a big steak and potatoes person.
Uh-huh.
And ice cream.
Ice cream. That's my husband. My husband's an ice cream guy. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Give me ice cream. Nobody gets hurt, right?
That's right.
And that's awesome. So, Mr. Panting Productions will be on next with Teens with Dreams. He's going to have a really inspiring guest on today, so hopefully you'll tune back in. And we're gonna take about 5 or 6 more minutes, chat a little bit, and then we'll set up for Marco's show. So we kind of butt them together. So that's kind of cool. So once again, I want to tell you about David's shows. Love You to Death is going to be at David's Culinary Delights, 2520 Hooper Avenue, Brick, New Jersey, this Saturday coming, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. You do need to make reservations. So here's the call info. Is this your number or is this just a reservation number, phone number?
No, that's the store's phone number.
The store's phone number.
Yeah.
So it's 609-402-6281. 609-402-6281 for the Love You to Death. The bourbon dinner that's coming up on March 20th. I guess you would call the same number?
Yes,
yeah,
same number.
Be the same number. Again, 609-402-6281. And I'm just going to take a quick look here. Whoop. When I do that, I get it. I don't know how to turn that sound off. It's good. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
The learning curve.
Well, they change things all the time, too. So
I know.
it's
And
a
the
learning curve for
technology is
everybody.
crazy. It's just crazy. But I love it. You know, we got to give a shout out to our guys in the back, Monk and Ruben. And, you know, they make everything run around here. And it's great because I don't know how to do any of this. Even though I've worked in radio for years. That's what I did in Howell. I worked at WOBM for the sister
nice.
station, the AM station when they had it. And it was Satellite Country. I know it's something else now, but now that all the radio stations are all
Right.
conglomerates,
Do you know
they're all
Captain
owned.
Jack?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think Chris Coleman used to be with one of the shows there, and now he's he's still with Town Square Media, but he's on another channel, and I hear him a lot on the radio, so that's kind of cool. Ken Schaefer. You know, Ken was someone you met in South Jersey Network.
Yeah,
right?
I know Ken. Sure.
Ken's a doll, very good friend of mine, brother from another mother. You know, great guy. He just won one of the Nightlife Awards, Atlantic City Nightlife Awards.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Good for him.
yeah. So
Congratulations, Ken.
that's taking place at Boogie Nights. I didn't make it this year because I was sitting at a traffic light the day before and I got rear-ended. Of all the stories that I hear of that happening to people, in all the years I'm driving, I've never had that happen until last week.
Right.
So,
Wow.
so it was like just a bunch of days strung together. I couldn't even tell you the days, and I didn't know which end was up. I still don't know which end is up,
Right.
but that's a little better. So I didn't make it to the Nightlife Awards, but I'm sure our favorites were there: Michelle Tomko and Beth Tinnen and Kathy Burke, and of course Ruben Castillo and Ken Schaefer and a bunch of other people that we always see at the Nightlife Awards. So they're kind of fun to go to every year. So I'm going to wrap it up a little bit. David, how does somebody reach you if they would like to book an event with you? You know, how do they get to you?
Okay. Well, you can call that phone number, which is 609-402-6281. You can email me at david@davidsculinarydelights.com. Those are really the two main ways of contacting me.
And you're on Facebook too, though, right?
On Facebook, David's Culinary Delights, and my website is www.davidsculinarydelights. So there's
.com.
.com. Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
One of the reasons I wanted to start branding Ava Holly as a website was just like you said, everything's got your name in it. And if you look at the people that are, highly successful, they're doing things to have a particular brand. A lot of times it attaches to a name.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it doesn't, but it's still a brand. And a brand is just not a name or a logo. It's a whole process of things, and you can learn that at eWomen Network. Yet it's a learning experience as well as to where you go with your product, where you go with your business, and how you brand particularly, like Jerry Petito, it's the Jerry Petito Show.
Right.
So it's I've been working for a year now with trying to use Ava in all of my projects,
right,
so that it brands. So those of you that are out there looking for advice on branding and starting your own business, and Gemma and I talked about inspired action, and she asked me if I could give one piece of advice, what would that be? And I said, don't wait for everything to be perfect. before you step into something.
Right.
You know, you got to do trial and error. You just have to. I mean, life's too short, as we well know. And you have to just try, and, you know, fail forward. And I mean, I guess try is a weapon word, so we're not going to say try. We're going to say fail forward.
Okay, yeah.
And always keep moving forward. So with that, I'm going to close us up. Ruben, I'm going to give us a little time so we can get Marco set up. It's just about 10 minutes of 2. So thank you so much for tuning in to Ava's Casual Chat. I'm Ava Holly. Again, shout out to our sponsor, Internet International Hall of Fame radio show host, Jerry Petito. And David, thank you so much for being here. And I wish you a lot of success with your business and your 2 shows coming up.
Yeah.
And I'd like to come and do a blog on your place. So that would be awesome. I'll come out and chat with you on that.
I would love it.
And yeah, that would be great. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is Ava's Casual Chat. We will see you next month.